we're leaving Stonehenge behind, having had a really wonderful 3 nights here at the Drove.
This is one of my favourite free camping sites.
Now, we're not very close, but Claud has always wanted to try Cromer crab. Now, Cromer's in Norfolk, so it's a bit of a trek, but we're going to head that way and break the journey up by visiting some of Claudia's family.
This is my brother and his family, and we're enjoying a lovely Thai meal down in Bedfordshire.
So we arrive at Cromer, and it's straight on the hunt for the best crab in town.
I really have no idea what I'm looking for. I've just heard that Cromer crab is worth coming here for. I don't know. Too many choices. Everywhere sells crab. So in the end, I just go to a local stall and buy myself a dressed crab.
So, Claudia, what's the verdict on the Cromer crab?
It's alright.
That's it.
Tasted like crab, I'll be honest with you. It tasted like every other crab I've ever had. But, you know, glad I've had it.
So quite often we don't have a plan, and we quite like the freedom of just taking things day to day and not really knowing where we're going to end up next. But sometimes there are disadvantages to that. And this is one of them, I think, where we found ourselves in Norfolk, not an area that we know well at all or that I've done any research on, as we're not entirely sure what to do. So we head around the coast a little bit and we find a nice enough little park up at the car park at Weybourne. But it is popular with night fishermen, so it's not the most peaceful night to sleep ever, but it's perfectly adequate and the beach is nice enough. So we keep on meandering along the coast and eventually we come to King's Lynn, which is a really nice little market town. Some interesting features and a nice place to spend a bit of time. very nice place to have a pint in the town square. So it's off to find the next park up, and we find one just outside of Boston, near to the coast, where we set up everything for tea, but it's a bit of a race against the weather to get it cooked in time. And we just about manage it. This turned out to be a nice little park up actually. It's popular, but we got chatting to some of the other people who were parked here. So this couple have been living in their van for about 2.5 years actually. This guy I never spoke to, but you did, didn't you, Claudia? So what was he up to?
I don't know.
And these were just on their way to Europe, weren't they, for a tour of Europe?
This couple have just finished their own van build and are giving up all their jobs and are moving into their van full time. And this, in fact, was their very first night wild camping in their new van. But of course, like everybody, they'd forgotten everything they needed for their first night. But luckily we had plenty of stuff to lend them so they could have a nice first night in their new camper van.
So luckily, this morning on social media, I got a memory of us having dinner to celebrate our anniversary this time last year, so it was a reminder it's our anniversary. So we go into Laos, which is a nice market town, and we have a curry at Asher's restaurant, which is actually pretty decent and a perfectly nice way to celebrate our 31st year together. So from Laos, again, we're not really sure what to do. We check out a few places to stay, I'm not that keen on them, so we end up heading all the way up the coast towards Scarborough and Whitby, which we decided to visit because we've never been there before. It's getting late though, so we park up just on the side of the road. It's a nice quiet park up actually, just by a farmer's field. So Scarborough turns out to be really big and really busy. We've got an hour free parking in Aldi, so we wander down the very steep slopes to the beach, have a quick look, and then climb back up the very steep slope back to the car park, and we decide to move on to Whitby, which is a bit smaller and manageable. So we're here at Whitby, and we're parked right in the town centre. We're not allowed to stay here, obviously, but we can park for the day and have a wander around it. It's a really, really lovely town, actually. Again, it's really, really, really busy, but some beautiful features and a nice place to spend the day.
I really liked Whitby. It had these amazing little alleyways, so rather than taking the big old staircase right the way up to the Abbey, we set forth through these little tiny back alleys, which are amazing little places, full of wonderful little gardens, little alleyways, potteries. They're just amazing, with some great little secret hidden lookout across the town of Whitby.
You can get a great view of the Abbey from outside the walls. And there's a brewery here as well, and the Abbey provides a spectacular backdrop for a nice pint of local ale.
I really liked Whitby, but I did find it unbelievably crowded. In fact, it's the only time that I've ever felt compelled to wear my mask outdoors.
Yeah, it's really crowded at the moment, isn't it? And I suspect that's a lot to do with COVID and the fact no one's going abroad and everybody's staycationing. So it's back to the van to make some tea. We're just going to have a simple tea of burgers cooked indoors using the Ridge Monkey.
We had been planning to continue our trip up north into the North Yorkshire moorlands, but I received an email from home saying that I was to have a delivery the next day. It was really important that I collected it. So we decided that we would head off in a completely different direction, off towards mid-Wales, but first off stopping off in Stoke-on-Trent to pick up the package.
So there's just enough time to feed some of the local wildlife, who seems very hungry. And then we're going to head home, having had a lovely, lovely day in Whitby. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm going to lose a finger. I honestly think I might lose a finger. That's better. So let me give you a little pile there so I don't have to keep doing this. Yeah, steady on.
You're never going to give him a pile. Completely eat them.
Yeah.
Right, close the door then.
Oh my God. Calm down, man.